one word, how can you describe this election?
One word, crazy. I mean, it certainly was a very interesting race. The thing that probably shocked everybody is that no pollster called this correctly. I logged into my office computer this morning. The last thing I looked at was 538.com before I left the office yesterday, which gave Hillary Clinton a 72% chance at winning the election. And yet, by the end of the evening, she ends up getting, I wouldn't call it a blowout, but she got defeated soundly. No pollster got this right. Nobody saw this coming. This was a vote that really was at the kind of the gut of America. Most elections are about two things. It's either change or continuity. And 2008 was a year for the Democrats where they came in on a change sort of a platform. Continuity ruled in 2012, and change was back in a big way here again in 2016.
And I think that was quite obvious last night as well, as we're seeing people that are part of the Republican Party very excited for this to be a new change after having 8 years of the Democratic Party. The one thing that a lot of people are talking about, though, is how votes all across the board, people might have voted a write-in ballot instead of voting for Hillary Clinton. That could have affected her deeply, right?
It could have. So one of the things I'd say is, I mean, most people looked at this election and said that this was one of the lesser of two evils that they were choosing. And many people weren't choosing to vote for Donald Trump. They were choosing to vote against Hillary Clinton, or they were choosing to vote against Donald Trump. So there was not a lot of prospective voting. There was a lot of retrospective voting. I think that one of the things that we're going to see later on is that Hillary Clinton may have been the wrong candidate. If we were talking about, from a Democratic standpoint, about a change election, it is possible that Bernie Sanders was that character that had that change sort of a mantra to him. And, we can always armchair quarterback and go back and say, oh my God, if they had only put up Bernie, would this been a completely different outcome? Chances are it would have.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up because hashtags are going across now, bring back Bernie.
Sure.
A lot of people were upset to see this happen because they thought that the Democratic Party could have had a chance with him there.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, as you brought up the pollsters, a lot of people are concerned that the media really played into this election more than they have before.
Sure. I will always say that blaming the media is a lazy man's argument. The media has no axe to grind. The media wants to, unless the media is very clear about having an axe to grind. Yes, there are some networks and there are some outlets that are very clear about their bias. Most of them are just simply interested in reporting and delivering information to people. They were pulling off of the pollsters' websites as well. So they're discussing things that they're seeing coming out of reputable divisions. 538.com, which previously was owned by the New York Times, then was sold to ESPN, almost accurately predicted the outcome in 2012. So there's every reason why everybody would look at 538.com and think, well, they're going to be accurate this year. And most things are always accurate until they're not anymore. And that's really where we ended up with this one. It didn't work out the way everybody thought. Some of it may have been, and there's been a lot of discussion about the closeted Trump voter, the one that didn't want to admit publicly that they were going to vote for a Donald Trump, for a guy that had labels of being a racist, a misogynist, an Islamophobe, that you're not really willing to go, yes, I'm voting for that guy. So it was, I haven't really made up my mind. Well, the truth was, they had made up their mind. They did know who it is that they were going to vote for, but pollsters would have missed that because that person would have been counted as an undecided and not as a Trump voter.
Well, thank you so much for adding that input. And we also don't want to forget that you are an elected official as well
I am.
here in McLean County, and that means a lot to have you here as a guest.
Thank you very much, sir.